Hey there, YouTube. It is Brank. I am bringing you a video on Lords Mobile, an online game for iOS and Android. It's actually I think, a fairly popular game on both platforms. If you're into mobile games, this is actually, I feel, I've played a few of the war type games, one of the better ones. So this video, we're going to be going over the top 5 tips. Just to help you get started. I am by no means the best player of this game. I am by no means one of the top tier players of this game. But I do have a few tips for you if you're looking at getting started in this game. And that was one of the things that when I first started playing, I kind of scoured around and looked for things that would help me get started. And I found things here and there, bits and pieces, but I wanted to kind of put that together for you guys in case you were looking at getting started in this game. So here we go with our top 5 tips for getting started in Lords Mobile. So number 1, the first thing that I would say that you're going to want to do is level up your castle. Once your castle is, I think, rank 12, 11, 12, something, somewhere around there, you will get access to this cargo ship. And this is my first tip. Buy everything from the cargo ship whenever it's available. Everything. The only asterisks I would put on there would be the speed ups. If you don't need them and you're low on those particular resources, don't worry about the speed ups, but everything else is a good deal. I don't care if it says 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 20 star, half star. It's a good deal because if you purchase the item, basically you're swapping resources. If you swap those resources, in other words, this one right here, I can swap ore for stone, right? It's going to cost me 1.25 million, or to get 2.5 million stone. So that's a good trade, right? If they were equal. Well, when it comes back up, there might even be a trade for 2.5 million stone for 5 million ore. So I even made even more ore than I would have had in the first place. So there is an absolute reason that you're going to want to do this. And the biggest incentive to always make these cargo trades is it gets rid of your resources out of your town, basically. So when people attack you, depending on your vault size, they can't take those resources. That goes for gold, ore, stone, wood, food, everything. So always make those trades if you have the resources available. And eventually you're going to get up to the point where you have so many resources available by doing this. And always make these trades. Excuse me. The cargo ship resets every 6 hours. So you'll have the opportunity to do this every 6 hours. So that's my first tip. Second tip, start gathering right away. When you first start the game, you're going to have a few troops. Obviously, building up your troops is important. And what those troops are going to do for you is you're going to be able to go into the world and click on these resource nodes and start sending them out to go collect the wood or the stone or whatever. Doesn't matter what it is, start gathering resources. And that kind of feeds back into the first tip, because as you're gathering those resources, it's going to be making these the available resources you have go up, which is then in turn going to let you buy all that stuff from the cargo ships. The other reason is because when you do finish getting those resources, what you're going to notice is, there's my defeat. Somebody attacked one of my resource nodes. And that's the other thing. You're going to get attacked. But what you're going to get from it is going to be these materials. Now, the materials are great because those are what is used to craft the items for the character. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's something you're going to want to have when you get to the point where you're starting to work on basically building up your hero and building your set pieces and your gear. So start doing it right away. As soon as you get in the game and as soon as you can start doing that, you do that. Tip number 3, join a guild. The guilds in the game, there's tons of guilds in this game. I'm in a guild called AXE. But there's tons of guilds in the game, and a lot of times you'll just go into the world chat and see, somebody's maybe saying, inviting new members to join the guild. Always a good idea to join a guild. There's tons of benefits to joining guild, including more safety in numbers, guild gifts that when you're attacking these monsters and stuff on the world, if you defeat them, your entire guild will get a gift of, basically that monster item, one of the monster items from that. So it's always a good idea to join a guild. There's a lot more benefits beyond that, but we'll go into that in another video. Tip number 4, use your energy and stamina. Now there's two pretty much basic forms of energy in the game. One is basically the world energy that you use, like I was saying, on these monsters out in the world. So once you join a guild, you can actually attack these monsters. Always use your energy. You're going to have a cap of energy. It's going to be low at first, but try to use all of your energy whenever it's available. It's only going to replenish or regenerate to a certain amount, so you're going to want to make sure that you use it before that amount hits. So there's energy, which is what you're using to attack these. There's also stamina, which is what you use to go through the basically hero quests, right? So you're going to want to use all of that whenever it's available. Don't ever let it cap, because you're not getting any more at that point. Use it up. It's going to be beneficial to you down the road and in the immediate future as well. So always use your energy and stamina. Tip number 5, do not worry about farms. If you're planning on playing this game as, you want to kind of attack and stuff, build your quarries, your mines, your lumber mills. Don't worry about the farms. I didn't take my own advice here because I have a few farms that I really don't need. Really, all you need is one farm. And the reason is because you're going to get to the point, if you're building up troops, that there's no way you could sustain the amount of troops you have with the food. In other words, you can look under here, and your hourly upkeep and what it's going to cost you in food is always way beyond what you're ever going to have once you get to a certain point. And it really doesn't take that long to get there. So don't worry about farms. Build one for the quests and leave it at that. So those are my top 5 tips. I've also got a couple of mini tips for you guys that I'll throw at you real quick. Plan your builds and your research and training your troops around hell events and solo events. And what I mean by that is, if you click on that thing and it brings you in here and it shows you the solo events and the hell events, if there's one that's popping up like a research event is what's going to end in 2 hours and 18 minutes on here, right? So if I have a long research build that's going on right now, and I know I kind of want these rewards here, I can speed up that if it's close so that I get that reward. Because what might happen at the end of the 2.5 hours, there might be another solo event, but it's only build and infantry troops, right? So I'm not going to... And that's when my research was going to end. If that happens, I basically lost out on any of those rewards because my research ended when the event wasn't kind of coinciding with that. So try to coincide your research and your building with the events if you can. It's not always possible if you're online, obviously, and you can do that. The second mini tip is save your turf quests. I actually couldn't find any videos on this, but I've been doing it since I started playing. And that's by saving my turf quests. As you're leveling up your castle and doing that kind of stuff, you're going to get these quests at the bottom. It says upgrade trading post, right? So what happens is when you finish those, it gives you a little bit of, XP and might and food, right? I save a lot of these. I don't save all of them. I use a lot of them, but I use them as kind of a bank or a backup resource location. I have tons of resources, and I have tons of resources in my bag, but this just gives me a little bit of extra in case, I get hit really hard and I need to really replenish a lot of stuff. I can dip into here and collect a lot of these rewards, and that saves me, having to go out and harvest the resources. So that's it. That's my top 5 tips and my 2 mini tips. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be coming at you with some more videos on Lords Mobile and some new Star Citizen videos and some new videos on my Tesla. Hopefully you guys enjoy those. The Star Citizen video, hopefully we're going to be getting Star Citizen 3.0 here in the next, hopefully, month. I know in my previous videos we were looking at, I think it was going to be June, but I know obviously things happen in development. And kind of as we said, we know that it's going to be, we kind of knew it was going to be delayed. Hopefully it's out within the next month and we can all get to try it. But I'll be coming at you with videos on that and some other ones. Have a good one, guys. See you later.